Hello, darling. I'm Angela at the Moxy Movement, and today we're going to talk all about costumes and props for performance. So you've decided to perform. Amazing and congratulations. Once you've got your song and your routine coming together, it's really now time to start putting together what else is going to enhance my routine with my costume, and do I want a prop? A few things about props. You want to make sure that your prop and your costume always are enhancing you and your performance. Sometimes I'll see a prop and it looks clunky and maybe it's not really utilized really well in the performance. It actually takes away from the overall performance, and it takes away and serves as a distraction from the performer. First thing you want to start with is, what is the story that you want to convey? Let your performance be all about you, not your props and not your costume. We don't want you to be hiding behind your props, and we want them to accentuate the story that you're telling. So start there. Ask yourself, what is the story that I'm wanting to convey? So maybe you don't have your story picked out yet. Go back to the question, what are my vibes? Pick 3 vibes. Maybe it's more dramatic. Maybe it's sad. Maybe it's happy or funny. Maybe it's really sexy and sassy. You can have 3 different vibes and give your routine and your performance a lot of different dimension. Once you've got that more or less pinned down, those other details are going to start to fill in. A few things about our props. If you're going to be utilizing a prop, make sure that it really does fit in with your storyline or your vibes. You need to figure out first how to bring it and get it onto the stage in an appropriate way, how to use it in the beginning of your routine, and also, once you discard your prop, don't just leave it there and let it stand on the stage for the rest of the routine without referencing it. That is actually going to be distracting, and your audience is going to wonder what is going on with that prop at this point. So make it an integral part of your story. Make sure that you refer back to the prop throughout your routine, and at the very end, you can bring it together as well. Really consider, how do you get this prop off of the stage? A lot of shows will have different stagehands that can maybe help you with props, but if it's up to you, make sure that you're practicing in your choreography how to incorporate that prop. If you've been using that prop in your routine, what I recommend is picking it up and actually incorporating it as part of your final bow. Definitely don't let your prop upstage you. Don't let the performance be mostly about the prop, and don't let the prop actually take up more space on the stage than you. If anything, the prop can be more in the background if you're not using it, or again, it needs to be an integral part of your story, and again, it's enhancing you. Sometimes we use props or we use fancy costumes because we might feel a little bit insecure on our own movement and in our own story. You are enough, darling. You don't need all these props. You don't need a lot of fancy costumes. If you have a strong story and you can resonate and really feel into your vibes of your performance, that will absolutely convey and take you a lot further and be way more entertaining to your audience than overusing props or costume. In one of my favorite lines from Miss Blanche Devereaux from The Golden Girls, she says, "Why paint the peacock?" I think that's a wonderful line. You don't need to overdo it with props or your costume. Another note with costume, make sure that you are rehearsing with it quite a bit before your routine, before you actually perform it. You have to also make sure that it's part of your choreography. If you have these bits and these skirts or different layers, they need to actually move well with you, and you need to make sure that they're out of the way when you need to have that skin exposure, etc. So get your costume and give yourself several weeks is ideal to be able to practice in your costume. So just to reiterate, darling, this performance is about you. You are enough to put together a wonderful performance. Anything else that you use is going to be accentuating you and your story and message on that stage. Best of luck, darling. Please be sure to like and subscribe and tune in next week. Mwah!